Imani, and welcome to The Flow. So, a few weeks ago, I was asked a question, and since then, I have just been processing this question because it's something that nobody's ever asked me before. But I also had a hard time answering it in a sense, too. So, the question that I was asked was, what's the point in praying if I can still be put into harm's way? Living in the world that we are living in now, harm and death and danger and kidnappings and sexual abuse and sickness and just all of the things are so prevalent in our society, and so many people are grieving and dealing with these different things. And I believe now more than ever, we have to lean on our relationship with God. I understand completely that not everyone is a believer, not everyone has the same beliefs, but I'm going to speak from my standpoint. I am at a place in my life where I could be living every single day in fear, but instead of doing that, I am focused on building my relationship with God. And by doing that, I have to pray. Prayer is what allows me to hear from God and God from me. And ultimately, in those times, I have voiced my fear of sickness and my fear of sexual abuse and my fear of death and my fear of losing, people who are close to me. And God understands our hearts and our fears and all of the above. But just voicing that in your prayer time allows God to move in your life in a way that he wouldn't be able to if you aren't voicing these different things to him. But I also believe in that time, that's a time for us to hear from him as well. And it takes time to be able to do that and to understand how he speaks, because it's not going to be in the language that we are used to hearing from those around us. Also, in those times, I've learned that God doesn't cause certain things to happen to us, but there are times where God allows certain things to happen so that we have no other choice but to lean on Him. I feel like a lot of times when certain things happen to people around us or to us ourselves, we automatically resort to God's not here for me, God doesn't care about me, God doesn't love me, He's not protecting me, but that's not the case at all. We're going about it in the wrong way, and there's no way for God to protect us if we don't keep our faith in those times where hurt and danger are on our front stairs. I also believe that that prayer builds our faith. If we don't have faith as our foundation when it comes to our relationship with God, then there is no room for us to grow in relation, but also there's no room for us to understand how He works. And in those times where harm or danger is so prevalent around us, we have to have faith that God is going to protect us, that God is not going to bring things to us that we cannot handle. Because a lot of times going through hard situations or hurtful things is God's way of building us up. It's a crazy way to do that, but just from experience and just where I am in my life, I've seen that all of the trauma and the hurt and the different things that I've gone through have ultimately gotten me to a place where my relationship with God is stronger than it's ever been. But I'm also building my understanding in His Word and how He moves, and because of that, I'm able to look at the things going on around us differently and not getting so caught up in what's happening in the natural, because there are scary things going on, but I can't go every day worried about, is this going to happen to me, is my family member gonna, or is my friend, or is I have to stay focused on the bigger picture. And also too, I just have an understanding as well that no one is 100% safe from harm, but prayer protects us from different levels. So if we're just going about life and just not taking advantage of the God who serves us, then we're going to be prone to anything that's going on around us. At the end of the day, harm is the enemy's way of getting in the way of our relationship with God. And if we allow him to do that, then of course we're going to continue to be put in harm's way. But prayer is the barrier that separates us from that. We have to continue to pray. We have to continue to rely on our faith. And I understand that not everyone has the same beliefs and not everyone believes that there is a God. But just from my experience and just for me, I am just at a place where I would be crazy if I didn't give God all the glory for where I am, because I've made it through a lot of things that people just don't even know about. And just me being safe and protected in the times that we're living in is just a blessing. And I'm not going to go a day without giving God the credit for that, because there are so many women, black people just as a whole, whose lives are being cut short. And I believe that a part of that is because we're not focused on our relationship with God, because He is in control of all things. So I would say, all in all, the answer to the what's the point in praying if I can still be put in harm's way is building up your relationship. It's allowing God to know that He's allowed to take the lead in your life. It's setting that faith foundation and ultimately keeping you safe from the different dangers that are taking place in the world around us. It's a scary place to live in right now, but I believe that the more that we lean on and put our trust and our faith in God, then the more that He's able to show up for us and show everyone what He is capable of.